Hi guys, I'm Lateef, I'm a photographer, and I'm here with Havana Club Cocktail Maestro competition to give you some tips and tricks about how to take the best cocktail photos. So initially I studied and practiced law, but I started a food magazine with a friend, and when we couldn't find reliable photographers to take some content for us, I bought a second-hand camera from Gumtree, and I just went myself, and yeah, it went from us going to these places to take photos for the magazine to them asking us to go and take photos for their websites and socials. I think some of the best tips for taking photos for the Havana Club Cocktail Maestros is to look at your bar etiquette, making sure the ice is fresh, making sure the glasses are clean. Another little trick is to use ambient glassware as opposed to frosted glassware, because frosted glassware is going to evolve over time, and you don't really have much time as well. So as soon as the glass is down, you've got about, and this is no exaggeration, 10 seconds before it starts to really look different. You're going to spend most of your time avoiding putting thumbprints on the glass. You're going to get condensation. Basically, you're taking attention away from the liquid and the garnish. That's where the eye is going to go. Experiment. You do have someone else there to work with you and to riff with and to bounce ideas off. And don't let that just be restricted just to the liquid. You can think of different places to shoot. So it doesn't have to be just on the bar. It doesn't have to be, just on your favorite table. Think about shells. Think about, there's no wrong answer. There's only wrong, bad execution. So just try new things. And one of the most important thing about photography is lighting. A really well-composed photo with bad lighting is a dud. A quick sort of candid shot with incredible lighting, you can enter that into competitions. I'm self-taught. I've never done a course. I've never watched a YouTube clip. Everything that I've learned, it's from mistakes. But the only way to do that is to try. Just keep shooting, keep imagining stuff. If you're at a bar and you see someone pouring a drink, think about how you would take the photo. Think about what you would do to make that photo work. I think creativity's biggest challenge is confidence. You can have so many good ideas, but having the confidence to execute it can be tricky. But with a collaboration, you have that other person there just to give you that little ounce of reassurance that, yeah, let's try this. The beauty of this side of it is we can really sort of harness the collaborative aspects of the Havana Club Cocktail Maestro competition. And we're going to be shooting this one together, so if you grab your camera, yeah. I'll be on lights. A mojito, you want to show the crushed ice, yeah. You want to show the components, you want to show the garnishes that's inside the drink, because it's quite a unique cocktail in the fact that a lot of the garnishing is inside. Try new things, try different angles, try different setups until you get that one that you're happy with, but don't be afraid to mix it up. The first shot we're going to do is to try and get the entire drink. But initially we're going to start completely flat on. It's very important to get the full bottle in the shot. Cool. And try and accentuate every single aspect of the drink. So you want the crushed ice, make sure the wash line's good. Okay, cool. Make sure the ice is nice and fresh, the garnishes are looking good.
Portrait or landscape for this one?
Always portrait, because you have to think about things like social media and stories and posts. Always leave space around the image so you can crop into it. And don't be afraid to move around. I'll move with you until we can find that sort of perfect spot. See, with this setup, you can literally have hand models and more of a dynamic shot and more of an action shot without having to do it yourself. So if you're there, sort of a bit straight as there. I put the light there. What you don't want to do is spend so much time setting up the shot that you've allowed the ice to melt, you've allowed things to sort of deteriorate. Always keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to make a drink again, don't be afraid to pour it again, and just keep that freshness going, because at the end of the day, you always want the drink to look as if it's just been made. And I think that's something that lends itself quite easy to the Havana Club Cocktail Maestros, is the fact that collaboration is such an important aspect of creativity. Having someone that buys into your creativity, buys into what you believe in, and being able to riff with them is something that, it can only lead to better things. And I think that's such a unique thing that you guys have done with this thing, is that a lot of competitions that you see is either individuals or it's venues, individuals representing venues, but to have that sort of in between and to promote collaboration, something that we lost a lot of during things like lockdown and during things like, it's just to have that energy of collaboration and riffing off one another and bouncing off someone else's creativity and creating something magic. It's definitely the way to do it. Cool. And garnish down. That's perfect. And now we've got that actually one in the box already. 1, 2, 3, go. Perfect. Love it. Right, we're going to do one more, but I'm going to go directly over the top. There's nothing better than, seeing someone have a drink that they've created themselves and then discussing how we're going to shoot it and just seeing their eyes light up, because you're really showing off the effort and I suppose the fine-tuning that they've gone into it, and I just feed off the creativity from the people that I'm shooting with, and I think that's the best way to do it. For one, if I'm shooting the bartender, it's to make them feel as comfortable as possible. There are a few steps I always ask for. I always ask what the action is, which is actually my way of saying, what are the steps? And then I'll ask for the colour of the liquid, but that's more to do with where I'm going to be shooting in the final drink. And I'll ask for things like garnishes and glassware. So anticipation for me is one of the most important things while shooting bartenders, and the way to achieve that is by knowing precisely what we're going to be shooting and when. My favourite cocktail is an old-fashioned, and with this, you're almost leaning towards that flavour profile without having to create your own cocktail. So, great thing about this drink is that you can really just let it sing. You can have it neat, you can have it over ice, you can have it in an old-fashioned, you can have it in a Mai Tai, but it's still withholding its own flavour profile, and it's still withholding its integrity without losing its, its uniqueness. So yeah, big fan. I like the challenge of shooting things I've not shot before, and there is a comfort in shooting things that you have shot, but again, it comes down to the collaboration that you have. Shooting something that you love or shooting something you're passionate about just lends itself to having a completely different point of view to it. You do have a connection to it. You are more likely to edit the photo, you're more likely to post the photo, you're more likely to write a little caption as opposed to shooting just whatever. But that being said, I do think that it is a collaborative thing. I've been in some of the best places in the world and had an awful photo shoot, but then I've been shooting a cafe around the corner in Streatham and a great photo shoot. The way that I rank them is just connectivity, and if you can have that great connection with someone, then it doesn't matter what you're shooting or where. Take a photo that is unique to you. Shoot the thing that you like to receive. But if you can bring that level of attention into photography, then, or even just how you make things, it's all going to be linked into one another. So the human eye naturally goes to mistakes when we're looking at photography. Like, it could be the most incredible photo you've ever seen, but if there's a crumb on the table, we can't not look at that. And so just cover the basics, make sure that everything's consistent and clean, and make sure you just remember all the bar etiquette that you would have been taught on your first day at bartending, and just bring that into the photo, because it is the first impression. No one's had the drink yet, they've just seen the photo. Yeah, we're gonna hug.
Thanks so much for your help.
Today's been awesome.
Yeah, it has been. You're a legend. Thank you.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
Cheers.